Welcome to Seagull Eagle, a safe space where lifelong enemies somehow became co-hosts of a football podcast.
He's Brighton, I'm Palace, neighbours, rivals, and both increasingly confused by UEFA ownership rules. Honestly, we just wanted a quiet summer.
This week, is there finally some good news on the European horizon for Palace fans? Plus, we break down the new season's Premier League fixtures and try to work out who's got the easiest start.
There's loads of transfer noise, and we're picking through the rumours from both clubs.
Plus, it's my turn to play VAR, Very Anonymous Recruit.
And of course, we've got loads more debate, more talking points, and probably more reasons for Neil to wind me up. This is Seagull Eagle. Hi Neil, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. The sun is shining, isn't it?
It's been beautiful. I've been baking, but it's been great fun. I've been loving the sunshine.
Oh, mate, it's lovely until you need to record a podcast in the studio without a fan. It's hot. It is hot.
Oh, how's our week been? Have you been all right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's to be honest with you, actually, up until it's Monday's day, right? For those of you listening, and we've had a reasonably quiet week of news.
I was scratching around myself, to be honest, as well.
Lots of noise, but not much news, I would say, up until a couple of hours ago, where I was frantically trying to make sense of all of this latest news that we're probably about to speak about. So, yeah, not much going on, and then everything going on.
Yep, I agree. Same here, really. I didn't have much going on either. And yesterday I had a few rumours come round, a few other little bits on Twitter and other things come up. So I was like, oh, that'll do me. Let's have a little conversation about that one then.
Nice.
There's only one place to start, though, isn't there?
The weekly update.
Can we finally draw a line under this one? What do you reckon?
I think we might be able to.
Go on then.
I think we might be able to. Well, Neil, we have a statement from Crystal Palace.
Ooh.
I know. The first time the club have actually acknowledged that there's even anything to talk about. It's brilliant. So here we go then. The statement from Crystal Palace reads, Crystal Palace Football Club can confirm that Robert Wood Johnson, Woody, an American businessman and co-owner of the New York Jets, has signed a legally binding contract to purchase Eagle Football's holding in the club. Whilst the completion is pending approval from the Premier League and Women's Super League, we do not envisage any issues and look forward to welcoming Woody as a partner and director of the club. They also said, in unbold letters, underneath it, slightly smaller, we would like to go on record to thank John Textor and his contribution over the past 4 years and wish him every success for the future.
Cheerio!
That's honestly, it was a little bit like that when you looked at it on the website. So,
Right. So that's basically done then, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
I'd like to think so. I mean, we got 7 days until the end of the month, which is this dooming deadline that's been banded around, and it seems like everyone's kind of saying, well, now that's been done, there's no link with Leon, even if there was, it didn't really matter anyway, and there's no reason why everything wouldn't be all right. The question on my lips, though, when this was actually confirmed, because there's been I think 3 or 4 different parties, which I was actually going to talk about tonight, up until this was confirmed. Out of the 3 or 4 different parties, Woody Johnson is someone that, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know too much about.
Yeah.
So
I was scantily running around looking at Google and all sorts, trying to work out who the hell he was, first of all.
Yeah, well, I guess let's have a talk about it. He's from the Johnson family, obviously, that founded the Johnson & Johnson pharmaceutical company.
Ah, wow. Okay, so he's money.
Isn't he the bloke that makes the earbuds?
Yeah, he's the bloke that makes most things, to be honest now. Blimey, okay.
Yeah,
so he must be worth a hell of a lot.
He's a former American ambassador of the UK, which is a really positive thing because that will help us get the sign-off, of course, I think, from the Premier League and so on, because he's a reputable person. Unfortunately, though, he is a mate of Trumpy.
No politics on here, Andy.
No. He owns the NFL team, the New York Jets.
Ah, okay. Right, okay. This is starting to make more sense. Hasn't he tried to buy someone as well before this?
Yeah. Funny enough, he has. He tried to buy Chelsea from Abramovich 2 years ago.
That's it. I remember now. Yes, that's right.
And he got beaten by, what's his name?
Yeah, Todd Bowie. Yeah. Okay, right. So he's dying to get in there somewhere. Ooh.
He's been waiting, and he's been linked with us ever since Textor has mentioned about selling his shares. Right. He's been linked with us along with 2 or 3 others. I think his deal has gone through because he was able to transfer the funds quickly.
And do we know what he's paid?
Yeah, estimated to be worth 190 million. He's paid
190 million. So is that more or less than we were that Textor was expecting? Do you know?
There was, I think that was about what he wanted. To be honest with you, because there's been various different reports, but I think that's pretty much what he wanted. And the reason why that's pretty much what he wanted, do you know how much he bought the club for 4 years ago?
Go on.
87.5 million.
Wow. Okay.
That's
fair enough.
Not bad a return on investment.
It's not bad, mate. It's not bad at all.
So the other thing that's interesting is the reports are saying that the structure will remain the same and he'll still have the 25% voting rights that Textor had.
Well, it's a way in, I suppose. He's got his foot in the door now, hasn't he? Look, I don't want to rain on your parade or anything, but I was looking into him a little bit in the last few hours. And obviously, as you said, he's owner of the New York Jets. And from what I can see, I mean, the New York Jets have not been great, and there have been a lot of fingers pointed at the ownership of the New York Jets. A lot of people saying, he's not the greatest of owners. Now, I mean, we can talk about it in future weeks, but surely that's going to have to be a worry at some point. It's great that he's taken the exact same idea as John Textor, where it's just 25%, which means there's no big decisions that he can make. But maybe in the future that might change.
Yeah, I mean, look, the New York Jets have had the least successful run in the last 7 years since he's taken them over. But he has. I think from what I found out, he actually everything that he's done in the best way possible. He's made decisions that were technically correct, but he's had some bad luck with it. Right. He signed some world-class, brilliant players who got injured very quickly so on.
Look, Andy, I don't want to rain on your parade. This is great news for you. This is great news for Palace. It means that finally, by the sound of things, everything will be okay, as we all said it would be on this podcast.
And we've just got a guy who's invested in our club with a decent share now, who's worth about £9 billion.
Wow.
So that's
a lot of scarves at Wembley, isn't it?
Mate, that's progress. And that's something that I think we can all now put to bed. Talking about putting things to bed, Neil, over here,
what's this?
I've got a letter.
You've got a letter?
I've got a letter.
I didn't know those things still existed.
Yeah, well, I've managed to get my hands on something that potentially the mainstream media haven't picked up yet.
Wow. Okay.
All right, this is breaking news.
Okay.
You won't believe this, Neil. You won't believe this, Neil. But
what is it, Andy? I'm dreaded.
Let me just open it up. Hang on, give me a second.
Oh. He's literally opening an envelope up. Okay. Got a horrible feeling by the smirk on his little face.
Okay, here we go. Let me just open. Let's just. Right.
Hold on to your hats.
Oh, it's a reply from UEFA.
Oh, right.
To the owner of Nottingham Forest.
Is it now?
Do you want to hear what it says?
I would love to hear this.
Okay, hang on. Let me just... right, okay, here we go. To Mr. Evangelos Marinakis. Subject, your recent letter re Crystal Palace in the Europa League. Interesting. Dear Mr. Marinakis, thank you for your recent letter in which you requested Crystal Palace be removed from the UEFA Europa League and replaced by Nottingham Forest. After reading it several times, once with a magnifying glass, once with a translator, and once with the office therapy dog for emotional support, we regret to inform you that your request has been firmly denied. We must also point out that as of March, you voluntarily placed your shares in Nottingham Forest into a blind trust, meaning you no longer officially speak for the club. So, with the greatest respect, we're not entirely sure why you are writing on their behalf. We imagine it be quite confusing to try and manage a club you're not technically allowed to control. Furthermore, entry to the Europa League is traditionally achieved through sporting merit, finishing higher in the table, for example, or winning a major domestic trophy. May we humbly suggest that next season Forest might consider trying one of those approaches rather than simply launching a formal tantrum. As a consolation, Nottingham Forest have instead qualified for a little-known European competition called the one that West Ham won, although full disclosure, that name may change once UEFA remembers what it's actually called. In the meantime, we at UEFA would like to wish Crystal Palace all the best in their upcoming European campaign, a club whose recent success has been built on talent, teamwork, and dare we say it, not writing angry letters to us. Lastly, we cannot stress this enough, please stop writing letters. Warmest regards, the UEFA Competitions Department, P.S. If it helps, we forwarded your letter to Santa Claus. He's slightly more generous with childish requests. So I'm going to... I mean, I probably should pass this on.
I think so, yeah. I think. Could you just add something on the front of the envelope?
Yeah.
To the Weasels. That'd be great. Cheers.
I can't wait to welcome them to Selhurst Park this year. I'll tell you what, hopefully that don't backfire, because the decision actually hasn't been made yet.
I'm pretty sure it's on its way. I'm just glad we don't have to bloody talk about it anymore either.
No, I agree. Well, I think the next time we'll make a promise. The next time we actually talk about it, there'll be a decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What should we talk about next? How about, I know, pre-season friendlies.
Oh, I love a good pre-season friendly.
Yeah.
I love it. And now is the time of year that we would normally have a full fixture list of pre-season friendlies. And Palace, I mean, what have we got? We've managed to confirm so far a trip to Crawley Town.
Crawley?
That's all we've
exotic.
got. I'm imagining the rest of it is all being sorted as with everything else at the moment. But yes, Crawley Town. And I'm actually, jokes aside, I'm actually really excited about this. I've been to the Crawley Town fixture. It's away at the Broadfield Stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been, but it's you have. Okay.
It's like going back in time, isn't it?
It's brilliant. It's so good. It's like watching Sunday League football, but you get a Premier League team turn up. There's no chair. There is a few chairs, but you have to be basically disabled to sit on one, is the truth of the matter. There isn't enough.
Right.
So, yeah, we've got a whole stand where the Palace fans are, all standing, and, it's that small. The players who are, warming up on the sidelines before they come on are, high-fiving and talking to the fans. It's that kind of thing. It's so weird. And yet we play our first team there every year. So we're playing 25th of July, 7:30 p.m. at the Broadfield Stadium. If you can get tickets, which you'd be lucky to get, but if you can, go. It's a brilliant day out.
25th of July, that's a Friday night then.
It's Friday night.
Right, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it's a brilliant day out. And I remember first year I managed to get tickets. The second year I couldn't get tickets because there's only 800 tickets being sold. And I managed to find someone who lived in Arundel who was selling them on Facebook because they'd broken their leg. And I went to go and pick them up an hour before kickoff.
And you went, hang on, aren't you the bloke that broke my leg?
Yeah.
Brighton have got a few announcements as well, pre-season games. They've been out for a few weeks, to be fair. They were sorted quite early on. We've got a long away day trip to Southampton on Saturday the 2nd of August at 3 p.m, which is good fun. And that'll be the new Southampton as well, if you think about it. So Will Steele, new manager there. So he'll be starting his reign with a Brighton game. So that'd be quite fun to go and watch. I'm going to try and get tickets for that one.
That'd be a good test for you guys as well.
I think so, yeah, absolutely.
That sounded awful.
No, I know what you mean.
A good test for you, the team who've been relegated and sold half their team.
No,
but I think that's a good one to get in the diary.
It's a good level, I think. What will be a top of the championship probably side.
Yeah.
Trying to impress their new manager away. It's just a good game to go and play. And you know that it's a Will Steele team, so you know they're going to be playing good football as well. So it should be a good match.
To be honest, that's my one regret while Southampton were in the Premier League that I didn't get to go down there. I really wanted to go down there. I don't know why, just for some unknown reason I wanted to go and see it away. But
yeah, I couldn't get tickets to the away game, but let's just say I managed to get in.
Did you?
Say no more. And the second pre-season friendly is at home this time at the Amex. But we're going to be hosting Wolfsburg, the German side. That's on Saturday, the 9th of August. It's a 5 p.m. kickoff. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm not sure if I'll make that one, but I'm looking forward to seeing the results of that.
Mate, that'd be good. That's one of Glasner's old teams, Wolfsburg.
Is it?
Used to manage them, yeah.
Ah, well, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm wondering whether by then, the thing I always notice. And we've always there's always been a link in previous seasons where we've played pre-season games. It's like, usually the worse we do in the pre-seasons, the better we start, if you know what I mean. Like if we've played really terribly and we haven't won anything, we tend to start well in the league. I've noticed that. The other way round, it's like we get too confident. We've played a couple of pre-seasons and then we start really terribly in the league. So I'm sort of hoping for a couple of nice, terrible losses, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, we had a brilliant pre-season last year, didn't lose a game, and we also won some random cup at 3 o'clock in the morning in America and lifted a trophy. Technically, it was 2 trophies we lifted last year, and then we continued to not win a game for a very long period of time. So it does make you wonder what pre-season's all about, really. But
I mean, that's the interesting thing, isn't it? Both teams this year so far, anyway, it doesn't sound like it with Palace either. We're not doing any big tours or anything like that. Where Brighton, I think it was last season, 2 seasons ago it would have been now, because it was De Zerbi's final season. We went off to America and did one of their Premier League ones in America, where there was like Newcastle and Chelsea and things, and that was a very new experience for Brighton fans, but it was great fun. But it sort of felt a little bit like, oh, we've made it, that sort of feeling, being included and that sort of thing. But I'm quite pleased that we've got 2 games pre-season that we can actually see, well, the fans from down here can actually go and see. That'll be good fun. I'm looking forward to it.
No, absolutely. And waiting for the rest of them to be announced for me. And that family fun day that they do at Palace, where historically we've played one of Texter's clubs, Botafogo or Lyon or whatever it would have been. So
might play the New York Jets this time.
I mean, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
An interesting watch. Yeah.
You have got one other friendly though, haven't you?
Oh, Neil, that took me a while to twig then. Yeah. I don't class this as a friendly.
Oh, I think everybody does, mate, apart from you, maybe. Sunday the 10th of August, kicking off at 3 p.m.
Yeah, it's been confirmed.
The Community Shield.
Yeah, and it's going to be broadcast on TNT Sports. Not that many people have got that, but you can watch it on there. No news of when the tickets are going to go on sale yet. But did you know, Neil, it's going to be our 14th trip to Wembley?
Yeah, I've heard quite a lot of stories about Wembley recently. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, look, we won both our matches there last season, obviously.
Did you?
know,
I didn't realise.
Without conceding a single goal. So I've been to Wembley twice and haven't seen the ball hit the back of our net yet. Whether that happens...
Are you going to go, mate? Are you going to actually go to Community Shield?
Yeah, I should get a ticket, right? There's no world where I can see that I won't.
No,
now I've
absolutely.
said that,
it's whether
I'm
you
like,
want to
I'm
go,
panicking that I'm now going to forget to buy one or something. But yes, I am going to try and go. I wouldn't miss it for the world. The only thing that potentially could tarnish this is if Gay starts in a red shirt, which could potentially happen, which we might talk about later.
We will. We've got a lot of conversation and chat around transfers, signings, all that sort of stuff in part 2. Yeah. Well, look, it's a big game for Crystal Palace. I totally understand that. It'd be great for you guys to get there. I think Liverpool... By then, I mean, I'm expecting them to have had quite a few signings in their first 11 by then. They have Frimpong, obviously, just announced Wirtz as well. I'm expecting probably 1 or 2 more, as we sort of alluded to there.
They've spent a lot of money.
They have, and they're doing well as well. They're not even rubbish buys. So,
yeah, but you know what, though?
Yeah.
I hope that they might have, that they keep spending their money. And they've got that kind of Chelsea feel to them where, like, everyone stood next to each other on the pitch and going, sorry, what's your name again? I hope that
I think they've got a long way to go to be that terrible.
No,
like
keep
Chelsea,
keep going.
And I understand your point.
Yeah. But do you know what?
It should be a good fun no matter what.
I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah,
We don't have a great record against Liverpool, but let's see what happens. It'll be a good day out. And do you know what? If we're going to lose a trip to Wembley, I think I kind of prefer it to be that one.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So let's see what happens.
The other big news of the week, the Premier League fixtures. They've been announced. We can see everyone's games all for the whole season in what order. Not necessarily on what day, because we know how much everything changes. But we do know at least who everyone is playing. And interestingly, I thought it'd be worth having a little squiz at everything that's going on, Albion and Palace in particular.
What, Neil, what's a squiz?
You never had a squiz?
Don't know if it sounds painful.
Oh, I love a good squiz.
Yeah.
So I just thought it'd be useful and helpful maybe to have a look at the first 3 fixtures that both teams have got and talk about them. So Albion opened their account of the Premier League with Fulham at home. And Palace have got, who have Palace got? Chelsea, haven't they?
Unfortunately, we got Chelsea.
And that's away, though, as well, isn't it?
No, that's a tough start for us.
That is a tough one. I mean, Fulham's not easy, but it'll be what I would argue is sort of a very much a like for like. Albion and Fulham are very close in the way that they play, and also I think their levels are, even this season, as you could see, they were probably pretty even overall. So, but Palace, Chelsea, I mean, they could be knackered, Chelsea, still by then, playing in the Club World Cup and all that sort of stuff. They haven't even had a summer yet, and they've been all the way through in a European competition. I mean, those players might be knackered, but yeah, as you say, they've also got about 3 different teams, haven't they? So
they have. They absolutely have. But yeah, I mean, look, potentially a tough start for us, but then I think it gets a bit better.
Yeah, so then next you've got Nottingham Forest at home.
Yeah.
Straight away, that's going to be fun, isn't it? We said about can't wait for Forest to get there. You've got them on the second weekend of the season.
It's going to kick off and I can't wait.
It's going to be so fresh in everyone's minds.
I literally can't wait. there'll be the ultras will be sat there writing the chants as we speak. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And look, Nottingham Forest are always a good game for us because it's that whole. It's that whole thing in it. Who wants the ball situation? The counter attacking. I do genuinely love that game. So I'm looking forward to Nottingham Forest. Yeah, very much so. And who have you got?
So we are away, and we are going to be the first official Premier League game at the Hill Dickinson Stadium.
I feel like they could have come up with a better name than that.
Money, isn't it? It's all about money. Yeah, naming rights. So we are away at Everton. Right. Their first Premier League game in their new stadium. How exciting is that? I think that's going to be great fun.
That actually is.
Isn't it?
Like, you'll be the first away side to sit on them seats.
Yeah, absolutely. First away side to get 3 points at that stadium. So
I think you probably will as well.
Well, I hope so. Although I have noticed Everton have got a bit more money this season and they're starting to look at some new players. So could be a little bit more. I think Everton could be definitely a bit better than they were at the beginning of last season. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's exciting, going away to Everton for their first game in their new stadium. And then our third game is, gets a little bit more difficult then. So we're at home again this time, and we've got Manchester City. Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But there is part of me that thinks, trying to stay positive, a lot of the time, teams like Manchester City, Liverpool, it's good to try and catch them early when maybe not all the new signings are quite, gelled and all that sort of stuff.
Well, also, it's a bit like, like when you're in the playground and you're getting bullied and you're like, just get it over and done with, hit me.
Yeah.
Just get it over and done with.
The good thing is that usually the games against Man City are open. They're just fun games. Yeah. And whatever happens, so early in the season, it won't feel like it's a big result either way. So I'm quite looking forward to that. Palace, you're away.
But it's Villa, isn't it?
What's that mean?
Well, I mean, it's like a cricket score the last 5 games, the Palace Villa.
Oh, good point.
We're their bogey team, aren't we?
Yeah.
So unless they dramatically change their style of play or anything next season, or we do, I don't fear Villa, and that's not arrogance or confidence, but like, I used to look at Villa and go, it's a bit of a tricky one. Now I don't. I'm like, I look at them as a team that we can beat if we play well.
Yeah, I totally understand that one. Brighton's point of view, we've not always had the luck against Villa. I find Villa quite a scary team to play against, just because they've got so much pace and power. It's quite a difficult team to play against. But I totally accept, Palace-wise, you always seem to have their number, and I think it's.
The luck will run out at some point, but let's hope it don't for that one. Because obviously, with Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, and Villa, I wouldn't say for Palace that is the easiest start.
No, what do you reckon points-wise then? Those first 3 games, what does your heart say? What does your head say?
Well,
we've got a long way to go before we really know everyone's sides and who they've signed and things. I appreciate, but right at this moment, out of those 9 points available, how many points do you reckon you'll get in those first 3 games? Well, Chelsea, Forest and Villa. Given
our previous last 3 starter seasons, I'd say probably nothing. However, hoping that now with Glasner and the newfound, I would say a minimum of 4 points out of that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think you're probably right there.
And I think that's not me being Palace.
No.
That's realistically, I think 4 points. Don't quite know where they're going to come from there, but I would say we'd get 3 at Villa and then maybe 1 out of Chelsea or Nottingham Forest. But then I can see us beating Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, but fair, you'd be happy with 4, would you?
I'd be happy with 4. I'd prefer 6.
Yeah, I think that's a fair shout. And so and that is literally exactly the same for me. I was actually going to say exactly the same thing. I think looking at Fulham at home, Everton away as the first 2 games, you've got to accept the fact that although I'm joking about Everton, it's going to be difficult for an anyway team, for all those fans coming into the stadium for the first time, proper official game. It's going to be a lot of heat.
It's going to be a party for Everton.
It is going to be a party, but at the same time, the pressure is on Everton to win, not us in that sense. So I'm hopeful we might get something out of it.
The other thing is, Everton are classing that as a home game. They've never played there before.
Very good shout, mate. Very good point. Yeah, no, absolutely. They'll have a few games pre-season, but it won't feel like anything when you get to the league. So I'm hopeful of 6 points. I would be very happy with 4. So we'll have to wait and see. Interestingly, I did the quick maths and I just looked at it in the sense of their finishing positions last season.
Okay.
As to, if you look at the average league position of the 3 teams that we're playing against you, your average league position of the teams that you're playing this season for the first 3 games is 6th. So in other words, theoretically, the average position they finished in was 6th place, whereas Albion, the teams that they're playing, they finished in 9th.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
We've got a bit of a tougher start than you.
And interestingly, the Premier League extended that concept, and they've posted something on their website looking at the first 10 games for every team in the league and how that has been rated against difficulty against the rest of the league. So
what I'm looking at here in front of me that Neil's just showed me, it looks like some kind of Sudoku gone wrong. It's like there is a lot going on here now.
There's a lot going on. So the interesting thing, though, just to explain, is the end result is that what they've essentially done is they've worked out, as I said, the first 10 games for every team in the league. And over those 10 games, who's got the hardest first 10 games? Does that make sense? And what they've worked out is that there are 4 teams that have got the hardest run of the first 10 games. And those teams that have got the hardest first 10 games are Burnley, Crystal Palace, Fulham and Manchester United. And the teams that have got the easiest run, so there's 2 teams that have got the easiest run, and they are Sunderland and Spurs. And when you look at the fixtures, I can see how they've done that in the sense of they've gone very much around the way that I sort of did my quick maths around league positions and all those sorts of things. But I just thought it was quite interesting to say that Burnley, Crystal Palace, Fulham and Man United have got the hardest start to the season. And that's done mathematically anyway.
It's really interesting because do you know what? Because there's been previous seasons with Palace where we're having some horrible results, and then you got other teams who are above you, and you're like, why are you above us? And then you look at who they played and who we've played, and you go, well, come on, it doesn't necessarily work like that. It's where you're at the end. So yes, what we are saying here is that the likes of Leeds, Wolves, Sunderland, and Tottenham could be up there early on. Yeah. And potentially that'd be good for Tottenham because they've been top of the bottom for a while, haven't they?
They have, but they finally, in my opinion, made a sensible signing by signing Thomas Frank. I think that's a really good signing. We'll have to wait and see how they do. And it sounds like Premier League have been a little bit kind to them.
Well, and also Sunderland coming up. I mean, that is a bit of a dream for...
Well, yeah, Sunderland, they've got West Ham, Burnley and Brentford in their first 3 games, which, aren't easy, but they're certainly not difficult.
Yeah, and then obviously it goes wrong when they come and play us away. So, yeah, there you go. Well, that's interesting, Neil. Yeah. Well, let's see if that is actually the case when the season starts.
We will have to wait and see. Yeah. I had a sneaky look at the end of the season as well. I love doing that, seeing how the run-in goes and, when we're fighting for the title, who we got to play near the end of the season. So Albion finished their fixtures with 3. We've got Wolves at home, Leeds away and Manchester United at home in the last day of the season.
Mate, that's a great run-in.
I think so. And again, I worked out those average positions again. I assumed maybe that Leeds obviously being a lower team, let's say they pretend they finished 18th or so. That gave me an average league position last season that we're playing against of 16th in the league, mainly due to Man United being so terrible. Palace, their last 3 games, Everton at home, Brentford away, and they finish with Arsenal. That could be fun. You could be championship deciders or something.
I'll be honest with you, I don't feel like this fixture list has been very kind to us.
No, well, that's, I agree.
But I think that makes for a great last game of the season.
Oh, it does.
Because I got a feeling we could ruin their day because we like doing that to people. And
but it's a tough run-in, mate. I think that's quite tough. It's average league position. Again, I worked out you're 8th. So that's double what we have at Albion. So
I don't like what you've worked out, but I like the fact you've worked out, and I'm incredibly impressed, Neil, by your mathematical skills.
The Premier League did exactly the similar thing, and they extended it out to 7 games, the last 7 games, and they've looked at it again, and they've come up with the same concept that the people with the hardest run-in this time, they reckon Fulham have got the hardest run-in, they reckon. Closely followed by Bournemouth and Chelsea, but Palace are right up there as well. And then the easiest run-ins, it's Wolves, Leeds, and then Brighton. So, yeah, they've been a bit kinder to Albion this time. Let's hope it works.
Do you know what, though? That means for us, potentially a tough start and a tough finish. But what that does mean is I can enjoy Christmas.
Absolutely.
And we've got a game on the 27th. We don't normally have. Do you remember I was talking last week about I look out for that Christmas game? We haven't got a Boxing Day game, but we've got a game on the 27th of December. And it's one of them, like, it's just a nice day out, isn't it?
Well, I mean, the thing with the Christmas fixtures at the moment is that there's no guarantee it will be on the 27th. So you might even get your wish. They might move it to the 26th. It's basically that week, and they won't really agree or move those fixtures to a lot nearer the time. But we should find out hopefully around sort of early November. So fingers crossed you still might get your Boxing Day one, mate. You never know.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Go for it.
There's this, like you have like, I don't know, National Pancake Day, you got National Coffee Day, you got National Baked Bread Day, or National Wear Flip-Flops, or whatever it is. There's National Day for everything now. I've heard that there's a new National Day.
There is indeed, Andy. There is indeed. There is Seagull Eagle Day. There's 2 of them every year.
Really?
Yeah. Happens every year, and there's 2 of them.
Is that copyrighted? Can we copyright that?
I've tried, mate. So far, I'm just waiting for the blue tick. But hopefully, yeah, Seagull Eagle Day, at least 2 a year. Sometimes there's more, but there's definitely 2 a year.
Yeah.
And this year, on the weekend of the 8th and 9th of November at Selhurst Park, Seagull Eagle Day 1 commences. So, yeah.
Try and get you a ticket?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
I'll come in my Brighton shirt, though, if that's okay.
Do you know what? I welcome it. I will watch them. I will watch them destroy you.
Yeah, so game week 11, which 8th and 9th of November, Brighton take the trip down to Selhurst Park. That should be fun.
It will be fun. It's always fun.
Oh, I agree. I'm pleased that it's the other way around this season, where the return fixture is on game week 25 of Seagull Eagle Day. And that's going to be the weekend of the 7th to the 8th of February. And that'll be obviously at the Amex. So looking forward to that as well. And you're very welcome to join me there as well. And you won't get the same reaction.
I am good at going undercover. I'll have to, I'll put a moustache on and everything.
I'll tell everyone, mate, it's fine.
Do you know what the question that I have, though, is do you reckon you can get any points out of us this year? Because you didn't do very well at that last year, did you?
Yeah, I know. Thankfully, though, we finished higher than 12th. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right, mate. We succumbed to the pressure of Palace that last season. We weren't up for it, and I think that's just an explanation of some of the things that I was talking about over the last few weeks around a young side not quite gelling together. I'm very hopeful that next season, we'll be taking at least 3, possibly 4, hopefully 6. But we'll see. Seagull Eagle Day, 2 of them. Game week 11, game week 25. Very exciting.
So that's the end of part 1. Join us in a second for part 2. Welcome back. It's now time for this.
VAR.
Who are you?
Wow, Neil, what was that?
I love that.
Is that you on the featured vocals?
Don't know what you're talking about, mate.
Brilliant. We've just upped the ante here on the Seagull Eagle podcast. Love it. Right, VAR, very anonymous recruit. This is the Seagull Eagle guessing game where we try and spot the mystery footballer hiding in plain sight. This week, I am the quizmaster and Neil becomes a confused wreck trying to guess who it is. All based on 5 cryptic clues about a current player from his club. I've got 5 clues lined up, and just like any good tactical battle, it starts tight and cagey and opens up as we go. The further you get, the easier it should become, in theory.
I hope so.
So, can you figure out who the very anonymous recruit is before full time, Neil? Let's play VAR.
I'm excited.
I
know. Right, okay, we've got to rethink this because I want to do this. Right, go on and hit me.
Right, just to let you know, by the way, we've had a slight change in rules on VAR since we played this before.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to ruin it for the people that are listening if you're too good at it. So if you guess correctly, well, if you got a guess, I want you to write it down.
Okay.
I want you to write it down so that the people that are listening don't basically so they can carry on playing.
That's fair. I like that.
We'll go all the way through to the end. And then I'll reveal at the end when you got it.
I love the fact that you're confident also that I won't wait until the last one. I'll get it earlier. I like that.
Well, I mean, all we need to really do is Greek footballer, how old is he? And then you're pretty much there, right?
That always helps, yeah. Can we do that one? I've only got two to pick.
Or the other thing is, sold this player to Chelsea.
Yeah. Oh, that could be a long list.
Yeah,
right, come on, let's do it.
Right, okay. Clue number 1. Born on the 30th of September 2000.
Oh, God.
A millennium baby.
That could be anyone. Well, I suppose half the squad is younger than that, though. So 24. Okay, I've got... No, I'm not going to guess. I don't know. So let's just go on.
That's good. That's good. Right, second clue.
Yeah.
Joined a London-based academy at the age of 8, making 3 appearances for their first team in 2019.
In 2019, 3, a London base. Oh, actually.
Don't say it, remember.
Yeah,
Write it
sorry.
down.
Yeah, hang on. Okay. Do you know what? I think I know. I'm going to put this. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Okay, I've got it written down. I'm moving my phone away. It's on there. I'm not going to touch it now.
Okay. Right. So now you can only change what's written on there if you think you get it. You think you got it wrong.
Yeah,
throughout it.
But I think I've got it right at the second question.
Okay. Second.
Third statement. What is it?
He played for 2 national teams, England and Ghana. How's that even possible? But he did. Yeah. Are you feeling more confident?
I'm very confident now. Oh,
right.
Man, I'm so clever.
Clue number 4. Signed for Brighton on the 31st of January 2020 on a 3.5-year contract. And he made his debut in the absolutely riveting 0-0 draw with Leicester.
Did he?
On the 23rd of June. I'm sure a memorable day for him.
I am not going to change my guess.
Still confident.
Give it a second for everyone else listening. What's the final clue?
Clue number 5. He plays right wing back or right back, and his initials are TL.
Wow, that really is an open goal, isn't it? That one?
Well, it should be, isn't it? Because you know what I mean.
What does my phone say, Andy?
Your phone says Tariq Lamptey.
Yeah.
And you would be correct. Well done there. So you got it after 2.
Thank you.
But to be fair,
the newly extended contract of Tariq Lamptey.
Well, yes, recently. I mean, to be fair, I feel like I kind of did an easier one for you this week because you haven't actually got that many homegrown players, have you? So not many of your actual team would have been in a London-based academy.
No, exactly. And over the age of 24 as well. Most of ours are still in diapers, as you say.
So obviously that was the Chelsea academy that we talked about. Yes. And also he made his first team appearance in 2019 under Frank Lampard's Chelsea.
Yeah.
And he played for England.
Underage teams. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then obviously made the change to Ghana.
He did. When Chris Hughton took charge of Ghana, that's why I think the link was there from a Brighton point of view, and then he went over to Ghana and played for them. So
there you go. And just to finish off the explanations, his initials are TL, which stands for Tariq Lamptey.
Brilliant. Thanks for that one. That's all for the Palace fans, just to try and work it out.
Yeah, the Palace fans are still trying to work out who he is. So even after all the clues.
He's Danny Welbeck's son, as everyone says, at Brighton. Look so cute together.
Oh, bless him. There we go. Right, well done, Neil. You did well there. You got them after 2, so that's an achievement for you.
Thank you, mate. That's much appreciated. That was
VAR.
Who are you?
Just another opportunity to play that jingle. I love it.
Just double airtime. Love it.
Right, what should we talk about next?
When the next jingle's being made.
I'm on it, don't worry, I'm on
it. Right, come on then. Look, we've waited long enough now. I think it's transfer time.
Oh, definitely. And I think probably there's only one place to start. It's been all over the news the last couple of days. Lots of talking points. TalkSport are nattering on about it. I've seen it all over X. It's going to have to be talking about Palace and your central defender. Is he a captain? Is he your captain?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, dear.
And also England starter. FA Cup winner.
Mark Gay.
Yeah.
So go on then, talk to me about him.
Well,
What are the rumours?
I think the rumours are, first of all, Neil, that I think Steve Parrish has been listening to our podcast and my fight or flight last week.
Yeah, I know. Just talked about him then, didn't we?
Because it looks like what I thought would be my take on the situation if I was Steve Parrish is pretty much what looking like it's going to happen, potentially.
Okay.
So it looks to me like Gahey's not going to sign a new contract, which is
To be fair,
no
I think-
shocker.
Yeah, we all knew that, didn't we? Come on.
So that's pretty much been confirmed, meaning we got two options. We sell and try and get some money for him, or we let his contract run down. Now, the whole letting the contract run down thing seems to be a legitimate option for Gahey.
I was just about to say, you say we let the contract run down or we sell him, but actual fact, there is a player in this and they do have a choice.
Yeah.
You know, there is there is something that plays out here where Gahey is a player for Palace this season and he waits until there's only 12 months left, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Well, look, I mean, our side is a better side with him in it, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So
Good point.
The
Yeah.
question is that a better side at the cost of £40 million?
Yeah, another good point.
Or £45 million. Bearing in mind, we turned down some offers at Newcastle, rumoured to be, well, I think they started their bidding at 50, and I think rumour has it, we turned down a 65 to £70 million bid only in January.
Yeah.
And now the money,
January is silly money, and also now, like you just said, you've got 2 years left. It just keeps going down, doesn't it? The money as the contract goes down. So, what are the actual rumours? Is there a particular club involved here?
Well, we were talking about various different clubs last week, but the club that have now just rocked up to the table and thrown it around the room in the last few days is Liverpool.
Right.
They've entered the race, and lots of media outlets, in fact, every outlet under the sun right now is reporting that a deal is close. But there's lots of conflicting reports, Neil. Lots of conflicting reports. Some are saying that Palace are trying to push through a deal so we don't lose him for nothing. Others are saying that Gahey is going to stay at Palace and sign a pre-agreement with Liverpool for next summer. What we do know is that Liverpool have agreed a £35 million deal to sell Quansah.
Ah, yes. He's
Right.
going to Germany, isn't he?
Yeah. So they're now in the market for a new centre-back. Now, basically, they're saying they want Gahey, but Gahey reportedly has said he only wants to move if he's going to be a guaranteed starter. Why would he move to sit on the bench, right? Because he wants to play for England.
Yeah, no, I get it from a player's point of view. I mean, it's an interesting concept, though, isn't it? I mean, you can't really say, if you buy me, I want to start every game, but you can certainly indicate that you want to be a first choice as much as possible.
Well, and you can see the other players around you and go, am I going to get in front of them?
Well, but that was literally the question I was just about to ask you. Is Mark Gahey going to get in front of Van Dijk? No. Is he going to get in front of Kanate? Maybe. Like, I would say they're pretty even. They're both very good defenders. So then the question is, are there enough games to go around? And with a team like Liverpool, there are enough games. Blimey, they're going to be in every competition. You know, you could end up playing something like 70 games or something by the end of the season.
Oh, yeah. With injuries,
If
there's
you're in
going to be
everything,
opportunities as well. So,
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's looking like £45 million mark is what might end up happening. I do believe that there will be a deal struck with Liverpool at some point in the coming days, because the last time I saw a frenzy like this at this level, Elise went.
I certainly think that there will be a lot of Mark Gahey talk over the next few weeks, but I would be surprised if it's Liverpool. I just get a sneaky feeling that he might stay in London. I think there might be somebody else trying to make a last-minute ditch attempt to sign him. We'll have to wait and see, as you said. And Liverpool are definitely this week's front runners. They seem to be all over the news and everything. But I'm just not convinced that he's convinced with Liverpool about that point that you made about, you know, being able to start every week. I'm just not convinced that they can promise him that.
Let's see. Let's see. But obviously, with that in play at the moment, and the fact that we discussed this before about like the rumours that are out there all start to make sense when you see certain players potentially leaving, and then who you're linked with
it's a
fits
domino
in
effect.
exactly the same position,
absolutely,
and it's the club trying to put a plan together. And obviously, we talked about Diamonde, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago? He was one of the first rumours that I mentioned, and that one hasn't gone away. It's still rumbling on. Apparently, Chelsea have now stepped in.
Of course they have.
To get interested in this guy. And Palace, it looks like we're yet to reach a deal with Sporting, but it all looks like it's riding on the Gay situation and probably the Palace Europe situation, which hopefully after tonight will get things moving. So I do think if Gay goes and Diamonde comes in, I don't think I'm going to be that upset until Gay plays against us in the Community Shield and ruins our day.
I mean, I think it'll probably be the other way round for you. I think it'll be, if you sign Diamonde, then I think that's what it'll be, the other way round. I think you'll see him come in first. Well, let me say that. That's how Brighton would do it. And I would imagine that's how most clubs would want to do it. They get the player in first before they sell their prize asset.
We don't normally do it like that. We've not been known for that. But do you know what, though? It's not going to be a cheap one, the Diamonde one.
No.
Minimum 45. I don't think we're going to... I think it will be pretty much a straight trade in terms of money. Whatever we get for Gay, I think we might even have to spend more to get Diamonde in. But it sounds to me like it's going to be worth every penny.
Yeah, I mean, the price is what I think is probably slowing down things, because obviously it's... is it Sporting, isn't it? Sporting. Lisbon, as always. They're always a bit of an interesting one when you could try and negotiate with them. Last report I had was that they're still put a price tag on of 60 million euros, which is a hell of a lot of money. That's pretty much 50 million quid, and that's more money than you're selling Mark Gay for, probably. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great player. I actually think he's a really good player, young and got a lot of potential. So I definitely think you'd probably make your money back after that. It's just a lot of money to try and get down to a price that you're happy with. But
sounds like the player's interested, though.
Yeah, I agree.
And it looks like there might be some form of agreement. It's about a price. Yeah. So there you go.
Just try and fend Chelsea off long enough. That's the next plan.
Well, yeah, let's see what happens there. And then, of course, the only other one that we've got is, in fact, let's talk goalkeepers, Neil.
Oh, great.
Before we move on to you, because we're now linked with a new goalkeeper called Luke Campbell. Have you heard of Luke Campbell?
No, I have not.
Well, he's only 19.
Okay, that's good. That
means
better.
he would have been playing in your first team for at least 4 years.
Yeah, he'd be a legend by now.
So he's actually a Chelsea keeper, and he's already announced that he's leaving Chelsea. He's been in the academy since the age of like 8 or 9,
right?
And he's already announced that he's leaving Chelsea. Okay. And apparently Palace are now looking for a new reserve team goalkeeper following the departure of Louis Molden, who's now left.
Okay.
So he was this Campbell guy. He was meant to be linked with quite a few other clubs, mostly championship clubs, and we've now kind of stepped in at the last minute. So that's looking like there seems to be quite a bit of kind of traction on that one. So that's looking like it's going to happen.
Okay,
but the most important one, Neil, is that we have now made a signing.
Fantastic! Finally. Your little face, bless you.
I know. And we broke it last week. And they've taken a week to announce it.
Your goalkeeper, man.
Yeah, Walter Benitez is now confirmed as a Crystal Palace player.
Oh, great news.
Obviously, he's Argentinian international, and he'll be joining the squad from the 1st of July. He's 32, coming from PSV Eindhoven. And he made 134 appearances over 3 seasons for PSV, winning back-to-back titles. He's played in the Champions League. And quote from Steve Parish, Walter is an excellent addition to our squad, bringing further quality, experience and competition to our goalkeeping department, alongside Dean and Remy. We look forward to welcoming Walter to South London next month and continue our preparations towards what promises to be a busy season, competing on multiple fronts in 2025-2026. And that's the first time the club have mentioned Europe since all this debacle, by the way.
Yeah, no, I get your point.
And it's funny, isn't it, that we just said this actually, because in the break that we just had a quick coffee and we were just talking about it. And it's funny how that announcement was made hour and a half, 2 hours after the club announced the Texter situation.
Yeah.
So it's clear that kind of clog in transfers might be opening up now.
Oh, yeah.
So I think my prediction, Neil, to finish our little transfer bit for Palace, I've got a feeling it could be a busy week for Palace.
Yeah.
I think this time next week we could have some exciting and also devastating news potentially. Because obviously the other thing, which we won't talk about, is that Eze's been linked with various different things, including the fact that Tottenham seem to think they can pay us instalments of £320 million instalments, and that he wants to go there. I think otherwise.
No smoke without fire, though.
Let's see what happens this week.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, over to you, Neil. How many 18-year-old Greek people have you bought this week?
0.
Okay.
No, it's been a very slow week at Brighton. No signings this week so far. But speaking of goalkeepers, there has been one little rumour currently for a new goalkeeper for Brighton, but very much on the youth side of things, prospect looming. We've got an 18-year-old Eintracht Frankfurt goalkeeper, Nils Ramming. That's right. Nils Ramming, and he's close to joining Brighton. It's been reported by Sports Bild, which is the national sort of sports newspaper in Germany, so it's a pretty big deal in that sense. It feels pretty much like it's going to happen. It's going to be a deal that they say is worth around €2 million with a sell-on clause and all that sort of thing. So very much like your Luke Campbell scenario, it's a future prospect for Brighton Hove Albion in the goalkeeping department. So that's a possibility, and it sounds like that's probably going to happen relatively soon. Other rumours now. I've got 2 this week that I wanted to pick up on. One which just doesn't seem to ever go away. It's been around for the last couple of seasons, ironically. But the other one, which has only come about this last week, Wesley França. Now, Wesley França is a 21-year-old Brazilian. He's currently playing for Flamengo in the Club World Cup. He's a right back. And there has been a lot of talk online and a few relatively, I would say trustworthy sources talking about the fact that Brighton have this player in their sights, and that they have discussed, let's say, the number that Flamengo would like to part ways with him and bring him over to the Amex. He's a right back, as I said. He is very, very much in Brighton's wheelhouse of the type of player they're looking for. Skillful, lots of energy, and very much an up and down, more of a wing back, I would argue, which is interesting.
Yeah.
He's played at Flamengo for, he's been there since he was a kid, but actually he's played the last 2 seasons in full. So that would mean he literally started as an 18-year-old, played a couple of games, and then the last 2 seasons he's played 131 games already for them. So he's very much a first-team player at Flamengo. So this isn't some sort of young kid who's not had any sort of experience. Plus, as I just said, he's at the Club World Cup now as well.
Well, they just beat Chelsea, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. So, they're a good side. And what's great about the Club World Cup, just going off on a tangent for a second, is you're seeing a lot of these South American sides are no mugs. There's some really good players,
really good,
and some really good teams out there. Really fun to watch. Brighton are rumoured to be making a bid of around £21 million. We'll have to wait and see. Certainly, I wouldn't expect this to move on any further until Flamengo are out of the Club World Cup.
Do you know what I've heard, Neil?
Go on.
I've heard you're not the only ones in for him, though.
Of course not.
And do you know who else is waiting in the wings?
Well, I mean, I'm sure Stamford Bridge lot are in the wings, but I'm sure there's quite a few.
I've heard it's Man City. Mm-hmm. I've heard that Man City have been monitoring for a while, and he looks like the kind of player that would fit in terms of Pep's.
He would. The only question I would have with Man, because I thought about this as well, the only question I would have with Man City is he a little bit too young for that type of position? Generally, Man City, they buy a little bit older when it comes to defenders. They've already got Kuzanov, who's their really young defender they've brought in. Yeah. Don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And obviously, if Man City come calling, I think that's fair enough. I could understand
it's a tough decision for him, Man City or Brighton, isn't it? But he'll make the right choice.
Well, as I say, it's I don't have an issue with things like that where it happens. It just means that he's a good player, and Brighton were probably right to go in for him. So we'll have to wait and see.
I actually agree with you on this one. and I wouldn't be upset if we were linked with him.
No, exactly. You know, and so I would suggest if anyone gets the opportunity to go and watch or watch on the TV Flamengo play in the Club World Cup, have a little nosy at Wesley França. Really good player. And as I say, he plays in our dreaded right back spot. So if we did sign him, he'd get injured anyway. So. The other transfer rumour for Brighton, the one that just won't go away, Harvey Elliott.
I've been seeing this all week.
Yeah. So Harvey Elliott, I'm sure everybody knows, but just to be clear, Liverpool midfielder, would we say? Attacking midfielder, winger, forward player. He's a left-footed right winger, right midfielder, and he is 22 years old. He's currently in the under-21s Euros tournament playing for England, scored the other night against Spain. He has a reported price tag of around 40 to 50 million pounds, which is a lot of money, but also we know what we're getting. You have to pay a Premier League premium for players that are already over here, and then you add a little English premium as well. It's an interesting one. I've looked online and I've seen a lot of people discussing this as a concept as to whether Albion should or should not be buying a player like Harvey Elliott. And it's a real mixed response. And I think I know why. It's because it's probably going away from our usual strategy. It's buying.
Well, it is.
It's buying a player who, is still young, but has a huge amount of experience already. We don't tend to buy players from Premier League sides. We tend to buy players, as we know, from elsewhere so that we can afford to play them and then get a premium for them when we sell them on. This is a very different strategy if we do this. We've done it in the past in the sense of being linked with these players, but they've never come off. So we've had those sort of links before, and those players have gone on to become very big things in the Premier League. But this one, as I said earlier, this won't go away. It was here last season as well. There was a rumour. January, there was a rumour. And I did notice, I think the cameras were slightly naughty in the Sky cameras, the last game of the season at home against Liverpool, right at the end, and obviously everyone's shaking hands and things, I did notice a lingering handshake between Fabian Hürzeler and Harvey Elliott. Not that I'm suggesting anything was going on there, but it was interesting that he was the one Liverpool player that Fabian Hürzeler had a word for, let's say. So we'll have to wait and see. It's certainly interesting, and what it does do, it makes me think that that's one of those statement concepts where we say, look, we're happy to chuck the money down if we think the player's worth it. We want experience and we want a little bit more maturity, which Harvey Elliott would bring, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, because your owner was seen, Mr. Bloom, he was seen at the horse racing, wasn't he? And he was asked, how are you getting on with your transfer? And he basically said, I think we're done. So
He's
I guess...
a good poker player.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, he is. He's literally a good poker player. That's how he won a lot of his money. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see, as we always say. I just think that maybe this Harvey Elliott deal is actually what will happen if João Pedro goes. We talked about...
I was just going to ask you about that.
We talked about it before, didn't we? We were joking at this 18-year-old and 19-year-olds coming in. Is that really going to cover João Pedro? It's not, is it? No.
It's not.
But you suddenly think, hang on, Harvey Elliott for João Pedro.
Yeah.
That suddenly makes a little bit more sense.
And there's rumours about him going to Chelsea at the moment, is what I'm hearing.
João Pedro? Yeah. Oh, well, of course, it's the natural progression. Well, I say progression, it's more like regression, but we get the money, I don't care.
Without putting you on the spot, Neil.
Oh, hello.
You haven't talked too much about anyone else departing, and there's that one big question, and I know I've had a look on my phone just now, and I haven't found an answer to it, which is why I'm asking, which is Mitoma. Yeah. Obviously, he was linked to quite a few clubs, including Bayern Munich and things like that. I'm in denial,
mate. I'm in denial. I've been trying not to look.
Is it happening?
There was a little bit of conversation and a couple of what I would say trusted journalists suggesting over the weekend that Bayern Munich have, in some respects, moved on from Mitoma, that they're not looking at him at this precise moment. Of course, he's going to be on the list, but I think my point being that they've suggested that maybe he's gone down that list a little bit at the moment, and they're looking at other like wingers and forward players in the Premier League and other leagues. So there was a little bit of a sigh of relief. I'm not going to be happy until the 1st of September, if I'm honest, because in all seriousness, Andy, if Brighton keep hold of Kaoru Mitoma, come 1st of September, that will be the best signing all summer.
Oh, I get it, mate. It's going to be a bit like us and Eze or Wharton. I don't think Mateta's in that league. I think Mateta will be the next contract that comes over the line next week. But I think you're right. Retaining what you've already got is the first signings.
It's just that level. He's just such a different level that if we can keep him, that makes such a big difference. Don't get me wrong. If we lose him, so be it. It wasn't meant to be, and that's just the way it is. I still have faith in the club. Yeah. But if we keep him, well, you never know, mate. You never know. No,
you're absolutely right. And do you know what? I think it's funny because the more you're getting linked with experienced players out there, the more it makes me think that there's a few outgoings that might still be happening.
Yeah, totally agree.
Because you can't recruit all of your new recruits, which are under 18 on an MVQ qualification or a work experience role. So you've got to have some adults out there, Neil.
Yes, we have, Andy. Yes, we have.
Well, look, I think that wraps up the transfer news. Hopefully next week, a few more bits of information to share for you. I think things are hotting up right now, aren't they, Neil?
Yeah, looking forward to it. And that's it for another episode of Seagull Eagle.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate every single one of you.
And don't forget to hit follow so you never miss an episode. And follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram and X for all the extra chaos.
If you've got something to say, which I'm sure you have, we would love to hear it. So drop us an email on seagullEaglePodcast@gmail.com, purely just to check that it works, because we haven't had one yet.
We'll be back next week with more big transfer news, big opinions, and even bigger meltdowns.
But until next time, Eagle!